Morning, Safi.
Good morning, Sam. Hi.
Another question for you today.
Okay.
Who was the Prophet Mohammed? What was his purpose?
Prophet Muhammad was an average man born in Arabia in 600 plus, 7th century. And when he was 40 years old, he thought he received a revelation. And that revelation, we found out later, came to him from God through the angel Gabriel, later on named the Holy Spirit in the Quran. So Muslims believe that Muhammad is a prophet and a messenger, like an apostle, a messenger, who received the revelations from God through the Holy Spirit.
Gabriel. The same archangel that dictated the book of Daniel to Daniel.
Yes, and the same angel that came to Zechariah and his wife Elizabeth and told him about John the Baptist. And the same angel that was accompanying Jesus throughout Jesus' life, the Holy Spirit. The Quran teaches us that God sent the Holy Spirit to Jesus to give him strength. So this is the same Archangel Gabriel. So it took 23 years of revelations. Some are short, some are longer, for the book we call Quran to be completed. Once that book was completed, short while later, Muhammad died. So Muhammad lived in Mecca, preached for 11 years after he received an order to start delivering a message in Mecca. For 11 years, he was hurt, he was beaten, he was spat on, chased with people throwing rocks and pebbles on him and his followers. His followers were killed, tortured, and they never lift a finger to defend themselves because they had no order from God at that time to defend themselves. For 11 years, they were suffering. The last 3 years, they were kicked outside the city of Mecca and they lived on simply the rocks surrounding the city. They're black rocks surrounding the city, black mountains, black rocks, and they lived there in the sun, the heat of the sun in Arabia. And people used to smuggle some food to them, but most of the time, anybody caught smuggling food to them was killed. So they suffered for 3 years. At the end of the 3 years, Muhammad's wife died, probably because of the pain and all the struggles and the hardships that she experienced living outside, no cover over her head, under the sun, in the heat of Arabia, on the rocks. So at the end of the 11 years of preaching in Mecca, a delegation from a neighboring city called Yathrib came to him and invited him to come and join them there, and told him that they will listen to him. Not only they will believe in his message, but they will also listen to him. So he became the leader of the community and not just the messenger from God. And that started another career of running a state. Like Muhammad's first act when he got to Medina was to issue a constitution. In that constitution, he declared that everybody inside the city is equal. And the city had Jews, Christians, Muslims, and idol worshippers. And he said they're all citizens of the same city and they are all equal. So that's an exemplary constitution. It's simple. You can look it up on the internet.
But it promoted human rights and equality.
It sure did. Look it up. It's on the internet. It's called Al-Medina Constitution or Medina Constitution. or the constitution declared by Muhammad. It's there for everybody to see and to judge for themselves. It's a career of prophethood and apostleship that extended for 22 years. At the end of the 22 years, Muslim had a book revealed by God called the Quran, and the exemplary lifestyle of Prophet Muhammad and his sayings. The Quran and the sayings of Prophet Muhammad are the basic sources of Muslims in their daily life. This is what they follow, you know. But the Quran has a much larger and higher value than the sayings of Muhammad.
So Muhammad, a man called of God, a man through which the Quran was gifted to mankind, and a human rights activist and a constitutionalist.
Yes.
Thank you, Safi.
Thank you.